Should you spend your hard-earned cash on the Carenado B120 for prepared? We're going to answer this question and more, so stick around for the rest of the video.
Here comes the noise, bringing it loud, like a stadium shaking the ground. There's several thousand voices in a crowd. It lifts me up and I ain't coming down. Oh, I'm unstoppable. Oh, I'm unstoppable. We fight the powers that be. Come rule the world with me.
Welcome to another episode of Test Drive. Now, if you haven't seen one of these before, this is where we take a scenery, an aircraft, utility, or even hardware in different types of flight simulators. We'll take them for a spin around the block, and I'll give you my recommendations should you spend your hard-earned cash picking up these products. In today's video, we are finally jumping back into prepared, and we're taking the Carenado B120 for a test around the block. We're going to be putting her through her paces by checking out the exterior, we're going to be checking out the interior, we're going to be checking out the cockpit, and also we are going to be checking out the flight mechanics and see how she performed. So if that's something you're interested in, sit back, relax, put your tray tables in the upright position and enjoy the on-board entertainment as we check out the B120 from Carenado. Jumping straight into the exterior of the B120. Alright, it's Carenado, it's eye candy. Put your hand up if you thought it was going to look bad. That's right, Carenado has done another exceptional job when it comes to an external piece of an aircraft. The aircraft comes with a bunch of HD liveries from all around the world, including a VH livery from Australia, and that's what we're going to check out. We're going to check out Skipper Airlines today. Carenado have made a use of prepared V4 PBR technology, so that's physically based rendering for you non-flight simmers, which is making the aircraft shine and materials look like materials and look like metal and all that sort of good stuff. As per usual, all the texturing is all in HD high quality 4K 496 by 496. All the usual suspects on the B120 are animated, such as wheels, elevators, ailerons, rudders, flaps, doors, props, you name it. All the usual suspects have been included in this also. A bunch of static elements have been included, such as chocks, pitot, heat covers, and other node covers, noding, and the tug that's sitting out the front that I've got it all connected up today. The B120 comes with a massive array of menus that can help you navigate through the aircraft, and that was a hint of sarcasm if you didn't pick it up. You've got the shortcut menu for the cockpit, you've got your animations menu, and also you've got the cheat. For you cheaters out there that don't want to start up the aircraft by yourself, you can use that one. I don't use any of them, but that has it, so check them out. They're there if you want to use them. Welcome to the cockpit of the B120, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm going to do a quick startup, so hopefully I won't put you to sleep, but if you want to look at proper procedures, I'll leave a link from Bruce down the bottom there, and you can check out his startup because it is perfect. So, with in saying that, we are going to hit some buttons. The first thing is we're going to do is turn the bus ties on. And we're going to switch our nav lights on and our beacon lights on. And we're going to put our battery on, and everything's going to start to come alive, and apologize for that annoying beep. And we're going to switch all the instruments off because we're going to get straight into the startup. And the first thing we're going to do is start up the APU. So we're going to switch that to on, leave it for 2 seconds, and then flip it over to the start and listen to the wind. APU is firing up, and I do like the sounds on the B120. The sounds seem pretty good, even though for Carenado standards. So we've been saying that we're going to turn the DC power to APU. Then we're going to put some bleed air into the cockpit there to get some air going there. So we're going to play around with a bunch of those switches there. Then I'm going to turn on some other components such as the rudder and the anti-skid. There we go, anti-skid is on. And then also we're going to turn the windshields on, the AOA sensors on, and also the TAT, whatever the TAT is. So it looks like I know what I'm actually doing from here anyway. Now it's time to get these engines to do what they're made for, so we're going to get rid of the lock on the throttles there. We're going to turn the inverters on in the electrical panel there. We're going to turn the packs off, because you've got to have the packs off when you do the engine starts. All engines need fuel, so we'll whack on the rest of the fuel for the left and the right pumps. And then we're going to put the starter switches to auto for both of them on the right and left engine, and it's illuminated now. And then we're going to start the engine. So should I watch on the right engine, it is moving, and then we're going to add the fuel and see what happens. Good engine start on the right, same thing to do on the left. We'll wait for it to rise and we add the juice into this one. There we go. And she should start spewing up now. Great news that we've had 2 good engine starts. I was going to get a little bit worried that I've wasted your time 7 minutes into the video, but no, we've got 2 good engine starts. So the next thing that we need to do is turn the power over to the aircraft, which we've just done then. We're going to feather the props, I believe it is, to takeoff. We're going to mess around with the hydraulics and get the power on, and we're going to turn the pedostatics on, and everything else should be on, and all the lights should be switched off. Now the only other thing to do is turn on the panels back on again, and as you can see the B120 is compatible with the Flight 1 GTN 750, so I'm going to use it for this flight. And now it's time to configure the aircraft for the flight, so I'll come back in a quick edit and we will be ready for taxi and the aircraft will be configured to go. We are all configured for taxi, so we're going to apply some throttle and turn left here so we don't smack the wing on the terminal. So today's flight is starting over at Broome in Australia, and with Skipper Airways we're flying all the way out to Halls Creek. So it's the first time I've flown out to Halls Creek, so it should be interesting. But on initial taxi, it's very nimble, and it sort of like overturns a little bit. It's like it's got oversteer or something like that, but just got to be careful on the rudders, and also being a turboprop, it has a massive amount of lag. So we've been saying, now let's do a quick montage as we get down to the runway.
Coming down. Oh, I'm unstoppable. Oh, I'm unstoppable.
We are all ready to get this show on the road. The aircraft is configured. We're going to apply a full throttle here. I'll do a bit of a shot of the wheels going up, and I'll come back to you as we're just starting to make our right turn away from the airport. So enjoy the takeoff. There we go. Everybody pretty much heard the wheels go up twice. Sorry about that. I had a SciTech switch panel automatically had the wheels up, so I popped them down and popped them back up again so you can see the animation of the wheels going up. So we're going to make a right hand turn here. We'll do a slow turn, and we're about to VF speed of 2000. So once we make our 180, we'll pop the autopilot onto nav mode and we'll pop our VS mode in. We'll see how the autopilot will go. So going back a little bit, the flight mechanics of the B120 so far. So on takeoff, I had to put a lot of pressure for rotation. Once I got the nose up, the aircraft did want to lift it and sort of lift it off by itself, but you had to put a lot of pressure in there. Felt like some of the other big aircraft, Carenado, you really got to put a lot of pressure in the yoke. I'm not sure if that's just prepared or if I've been flying X-plane for a long time. The other one is, we're just going to put the yaw dampener on here. We'll quickly flick that on. I probably should have put on a little bit earlier. And the other one is taxi. It oversteers quite a lot, so you really need to compensate for that and think ahead when you're making your turns. But other than that, feels good so far. Making this sort of slow or low right hand turns been no problem so far. So we're just rolling out of our turn now. We're pretty much on the correct heading, and we're going to play around with the autopilot in a quick sec. But first thing we're going to do is put our altitude up to the next level. It's a quick flight out to Halls Creek. It's only going to take about maybe an hour. And we're just going to pop the autopilot on, which is down in the center console. There we go, and we're just going to put it onto nav mode and also onto our VS. Now, one thing I want to talk about in the cockpit is the sounds. As you can see, when I'm clicking and playing around the VS, it's got a really annoying clicking sound. But overall, for Carenado, if you go back and look at my other videos, I'm a big sticker when it comes to sounds. I think the sounds, they've used some different sounds this time, so which is a bit of an improvement. So we're going to send up to our cruise altitude of 18,000 feet. We'll turn the seatbelt signs off and we're going to throw it into a montage. When we come back, we're going to check out the cockpit and also the cabin.
We'll take the sound and bring it to the street. Can't hold us down, we're taking no defeat. And the people keep singing your song. One day a week will soon be strong.
Welcome back to the cockpit of the Carenado B120, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start our walk around in the internal of the aircraft, and we're going to start off with the cockpit. You've seen some of it already, but a couple of things to take notice of. It is compatible with the GTN 750 and also the Reality XP GTN 750. So if you got those, we're using the Flight 1 today, they will work in this aircraft, which is really, really nice. They've also said it's a VR compatible. We haven't checked that out in this video. I do apologize, I need to get better with that. But also it's got the real startup procedures, so yeah, okay, we could see that it didn't start by itself. We had to put a bit of work into that one. And also it's got the 120 engine sounds and all the warning sounds, so apparently they're the real ones. Also cold and dark startup, which we went through that today, and I really think that comes to it. All the gauges are all 3D, and to me the cockpit looks amazing as always. Now I'm moving to the back of the cabin where all you lot are sitting watching the video today. Obviously you can open and close the door. I'll probably do that twice ever. But we're going back in the cockpit, and yep, looks pretty good. It's nice when devs actually do model the cabin. I really like that, even though it's the traditional sort of assets that you normally would see in a Carenado cabin, such as these chairs and whatnot. But I do like how they model it. So if you want to get some wing shots sitting in the passenger seat, you can do that. Obviously this is a 2 and a 1 configuration. Starting to sound like I'm an airline vlogger. We're going to scroll down to get down to where this emergency seat is and take a look. And it's nice to see that the window shades are made by Ferrari, because they go up and down super quick. But we'll have a quick look at the money shot. Like the window reflections they've done by Carenado, a good work. There we go, that's a quick shot. We're going to go back up to the cabin. And we're going to make our way back up to the cabin. It's nice to see the no smoking signs are illuminated, which is matching what I'm doing in the cockpit, which is pretty cool. But all in all, pretty standard from Carenado. But like I said, I do like devs when they model the cabin quite well. And these guys do a good job whenever they do it. Not a half-hearted effort like some of the other developers do, or some don't even model it. So well done, Carenado. Thumbs up for that one as always. But we're going to get back to the cockpit. We're going to throw it into a montage, and then we're going to come back to you on a final into Halls Creek.
We fight the powers that be. Come rule the world with me. This time our fate is victory. Come rule the world with me. We can rule the world. Hey! Rule the world.
Welcome back. We are in our approach to Falls Creek. The wheels are down, the flaps are down. Sorry you missed those animations, but this is not my first time on this rodeo. We've made the first attempt in, so we might have to throw some bloopers at the end. We'll see how we go, but first attempt in Halls Creek wasn't well at all. But I will have to say, flying around, this thing is like a brick to fly. It's like flying the space shuttle with all the flaps down. So it turns, and how it moves is super slow, so take that in consideration. So I'm not sure if that's prepared or if I've been flying X-Plane too long. It really flies like the F-50 from Carenado, so very lumber. It's basically like a flying sloth in my opinion. But within saying that, I'm going to be quiet now, so enjoy the approach into Halls Creek. This aircraft seems quite difficult at low speed, so we'll see how they go. But within saying that, I haven't read the preferences, so I don't know what my approach speed should be. Like I said, it's a first look. Enjoy the landing.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
There we go, a little bit of turbulence into runway 4. That was a bit of fun, and see how much we had to pull back on the yoke. So I tell you what, it's like flying a space shuttle. But within saying that, we're going to throw it into a replay so we can have a look at the external of the landing.
We can rule the world. Here comes a noise and we'll turn it loud. Rule the world and shake the ground. We got the fire, we ain't falling down, ain't falling down. Here comes a noise and we'll turn it loud. Rule the world and we'll shake the ground. We got the fire, we ain't falling down. We fight the powers that be.
So my final thoughts on the Carenado B120 for FSX and prepared. Well, it looks great on the outside, it looks great on the insides, even the sounds are not too bad, and systems are okay. Look, it's Carenado, so it's not study level, but it has enough systems in there. Taxiing is a little bit, yeah, it's a bit of hit and miss, but also flying. So I'm not sure what the characteristics of this aircraft is, but it's hard to fly. So turning is not too bad, but when it comes to landing, I thought the approaches were pretty hard on this aircraft. But within saying that, you can go and pick it up at the Carenado store for $44.95. So it's in their top range of products. I personally think it's probably worth $10 less because it cost me $68 Australian, and that's nearly getting up to study level prices. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you one of my other favourite videos, and I hope to see you then. Please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments, are you going to pick up the B120, and if you already have, what do you think about it? Let's fly it to the end of the runway, Aus Flight Simmer. Jeez, that's not going to make the first take.
10.
There we go, touchdown just off the center of the runway. We're gonna, whoa! That's not gonna make the video.